Hey guys, congratulations on completing this section. You are now one step closer to becoming a Excel expert. So I put this little summary together because I know a lot of people like summaries, just to go over all the elements that we learned here. The first thing we're going to do is naming and saving an Excel workbook. Now, guys, take the time. Save it, give it a proper descriptive heading, give it a proper date. Also, develop the habit of saving every few minutes. Use the shortcut key, Control S, to save it every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. Nothing worse than working on something for hours and hours and hours and then losing it because of complacency. Now, as you recall, save as is if you go to the file and click save as, and then selecting the destination. Okay, and once it's been saved and you want to save the changes, you go file, save. Now the shortcut for each of these, like I said, is F12 for save as and Control S for save. For the next section, we learn about creating a title, as you can see up here. So with this very first one, we learned about basic text formatting. We learned things like different types of formatting, sizes, bold, italic, and underlying formatting. We learned about some bordering principles, getting a bit messy, some cell coloring, and text coloring. Now guys, remember, when it comes to titles, your goal is not to make it flashy. That is not your goal. It's not about making it extravagant. It's about making it clear so that when someone opens up the document, they know exactly what it's about. As soon as you open up this document, it's a hot dog business. We don't even need to look at this information here. Straight away from the title, we know exactly what's going to be in there. For the next section, we learn about title headings, as I have highlighted here. We learn about adjusting the width of columns and rows. We learn about wrap text, cell alignments, and text alignment within those cells. Now guys, remember, when it comes to data, particularly headings, make it clear. Let people know these are headings. What I see all the time is people, especially experts in Excel, people who are really highly skilled in this program, put together these types of tables which contain such vital information, but they don't take the time to clean it up properly. They don't indicate to the person reading it what's the heading, what's the data, what are the values at the end, what are the sums and totals. Remember, if people can't read it within a few seconds, they're going to give up and they're not going to care. Doesn't matter how important the data is. Okay? Presentation. Always keep it neat and clear. Okay? The next thing we learned after that was the fill handle. Like I said in the lecture, this is so underrated and unused. Take the time to master this command. With this lecture alone, you'll be able to do things that the average person just can't. Okay? And if you can do the fill handle, people will think you're absolutely amazing. You're doing things that will take 1 second, maybe 2 seconds using fill handle, compared to the average person who might even do it manually, which is just when I see that, just makes me roll my eyes. It's unbelievable that people are spending, sometimes an hour filling in data when they can do it all in one click. Unbelievable. Don't be the average person. Take the time. Master this absolutely essential skill for Excel. Now for the next section, we learn about formulas, constructing them, the format. We talked about how to link them up with relationships and referring to cells and connecting them. So just a little tip with formulas. When your skill gets better and you start adding more and more elements, you may get errors. Just remember this. Go back to basics. If you get too complex, go back to basics. Keep it simple. This minus this, or this, and so on. Keep it simple, guys. For the next section, we learn about AutoSum. Now, AutoSum, like I said, was a way to automatically create formulas. Very useful and extremely powerful, not just for the new user, for anyone who uses Excel, because it allows you to create a formula and you avoid the possibility of writing the formula wrong or selecting the wrong area and so on. Excel does that for you. One of the things I think in my mind all the time is, if Excel can do it for me, then I'm going to let Excel do it. Why should I waste my time? Okay, so we learned two functions then. We learned the sum function, or the auto sum function, and also to create the average formula. In the next section, we learned about multiplying and dividing. But what we did was we used that in order to do forecasting. Okay, as you can see in this area down here. And we also learned that as you create more and more formulas, Excel will maintain those relationships in the formulas, which is the most powerful thing about Excel, one of the most powerful. So that means if you want to change information early on in, let's say, the timeline of formulas, something at the very start, it will impact everything else that's connected to it. And Excel will automatically calculate that for you. You don't have to do anything extra. Once it's built, you can keep reusing it. Which leads me to the next point, that if you want to apply the same structure to something else, go for it. Do the same formulas, put dates, days, do forecasting, whatever you want. Be as creative as you like. The next section we learned after that was the status bar calculator. Now, there's nothing in there at the moment, so let me just fill that in. So as you can see, this is a really helpful tool for verification purposes. But not just that, it's also great for just checking. If you just want to go, well, what's this plus this? Not really to verify anything, but just for quick results. Very powerful. I think a lot of people don't even know about it, or they don't trust it because they don't understand it, which is another common thing I see in Excel. People don't take the time to understand, and so they don't try it, they don't use it. But once you get the hang of it, these things are really powerful. And it's these simple things like the status bar calculator that's going to push you way above the average user and all your other competitors. Okay, so very important tool. The next thing we learned about was word art. Now, this is a lot of fun, not just for kids. People of all ages, it's a great way to kind of liven up your sheet a little bit. It's not so serious and dry and just, grids and borders and all that. It gives it a bit of flavor. So get creative with it. See what you can do with sizes and different fonts. Okay? That's it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed. That was a quick recap on everything we've done. So it was quite a bit for one section. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time.